I'm always hard on politicians, on our elected servants, but I have to tell you, I almost came out of my chair when I listened to Congressman Rob Bishop give a passionate and eloquent defense of why the Red Rock Wilderness Bill is not what's right for Utah. It was really a thing of beauty. We are so thrilled to have Congressman Bishop here today. He has served, this is his 8th year in the United States Congress, serving the 1st District. And I got to tell you, he's doing a lot, not just for the 1st District, but for all of us. So please give a big round of applause for Congressman Rob Bishop.
Hey, I thank you for those kind words, and I also want to re-echo what Noel said. The world is run by people who show up. You showed up today. Thank you for being here. You are very important to us. Y'all know that back in Washington, we're fighting to try and find some of the secret documents Interior and the Forest Service are trying to use on public lands. We have not received them all yet, but the ones we have received make it clear why they want to keep them secret, because it is thought process that is totally outrageous. We all know that the federal government already owns 1 out of every 3 acres in this country. And if you go west of Denver, it owns 1 out of every 2 acres in this country. And yet the Interior Department in this administration, through these secret documents, when you read them, still has 3 goals in mind that are very clear. Number 1, they want to buy more public land, more land to be put in the inventory. Number 2, they want to control more land, specifically state and private property. And number 3, they want to do it with or without congressional approval. Those original documents we got, which were talking about national monuments they wanted to create using the Antiquities Act, that was one of their proposals to go around Congress to try and do what they wanted to do. They're talking about going away from the boundaries of what the federal government owns to try and control lands in great ecosystems. I saw the map of their ecosystems. It's the entire West that is covered in their ecosystems. The Forest Service just put out a pamphlet saying the problem with forest land in America today is caused by too much private property. Therefore, the government should control private property. Now, I know that Secretary Salazar is saying, oh, this is nothing. It's only brainstorming sessions that we're having. But I've had ecclesiastical leaders telling me that no sin is ever committed until you think about it in advance. And what they are thinking about is a sin. Not only that, we see implements of their ideas in legislative action that's going through Congress even as we speak. When Secretary Salazar unilaterally closed those 77 leases in eastern Utah, what he did was triple the amount of unemployment in the Uinta Basin. He destroyed jobs, he destroyed lives, he destroyed money for our state education system. He said it had been a rush to judgment. And yet when the report and study came back, what they found is the Bureau of Land Management here in Utah had done it right. And that it was Secretary Salazar who was listening to radical special interest groups. It was Secretary Salazar who made a rush to judgment. That's part of the DC mindset. In these documents, they're always talking about the romantic nature of the environment here in the West. They truly, in Washington, think that all the West is a backdrop for a John Wayne movie. What we have to convince them is here in the West are real people who have their jobs here in the West. They recreate here in the West. They want to have a future for their kids here in the West. And what we want from Washington, D.C. bureaucrats is simply to understand that they have to have a realistic view of the West, a West that provides us with our jobs here and now and provides us with a future for our kids here in the West. I appreciate all of you being here. There may be a more famous and larger rally going on with Glenn Beck, but this is a more important one because you're talking about the future of Utah and our future kids. Thank you for being here. Thank you for doing what you're doing. Keep up the good work.